Good Thursday morning. It's January 21st or 22nd. It's it's at the end of January and it's a Thursday. Well, one more week in January to go. So I've just stepped off the resort, and I'm walking down towards the Mojito Hotel. Hopefully get some more warblers. It was so funny. Joanne had left the room a little before I did, because I have to get all my stuff out and stuff. And she wasn't going to come. She wanted to just have another coffee, and then she was going to go down to the beach. So when I finally got out of the room, I'm walking along and spotted a black-throated blue warbler and thought, well, I'll try to get a few shots of it. And then two beautiful adult Cuban orioles, another endemic, popped up right in the resort. It was actually at a spot where we had gotten pictures of the yellow-crowned night heron last week. So it's these resorts, they can get tiring with the noise and the people, and if you're like me and you like more solitude, more quiet, it can get a little bit overwhelming with everything. But there's so much green and trees and flowers that the habitat, these resorts actually become a habitat for species that don't mind interacting with humans, but still need their the things that they need to survive, whether it's fruit trees or places for resting and nesting. So it was kind of fun. I don't think, I'll post a few pictures if I got anything. Cuban orioles are one of those birds. Tends to be the blackbirds that I'm not overly content with my photos of. So that's, the Cuban bullfinch, the smooth-billed annies, grackles, whether it's the common grackle like we get back home, or the Antillean grackle that is here in the Caribbean, or these orioles when they're mature. When they're juveniles, they're kind of a lime green, pretty as well. But very, very different from their parents. And I just have a hard time taking pictures of blackbirds. I don't tend to be able to get the definition in the feathers. It may be, I'm gonna have to. It's one of those things. We're always learning. I'm gonna have to play with settings one day when I have a bird that's very like a raven or a crow at home that's being very, very patient. I'm gonna have to just play with settings and see what I get. So again, I'm just gonna walk up. Oh, and then yesterday we went for a walk in the morning, no cameras. But then in the afternoon, I went out again to see if I can get pictures of the Western Spindalis. And on my way to see the Western Spindalis, I heard a Cuban toady. So got it. It came out with a loggerhead flycatcher. So I was sort of photographing both. And then I walked down to where the Western Spindalis was, and three or four were there. Oh. It's probably the emerald green. It's always a bird's name I forget. Darn, the emerald green. Long beak. I have the same problem. I forget the name of it. Anyway. It has a similar call to the toady, or the toady has a similar call to it. It's sort of like a repeated clicking. People say it sounds like a machine gun, but it has, I think it's just the perception of multiple shots. So, um, very, very obvious hummingbird. See, I just can't remember hummingbirds. Um, it's funny, it's never been a bird that's interested me. And I know if we go to Costa Rica, Panama, Colombia, the hummingbirds are a big part of the birding and bird photographer experience. So I'll enjoy taking pictures of them, certainly, but they're not, it's not an animal, a bird that I would target specifically. Okay, so speak of the devil, in that little pond, just a bit of water. No, it's the overflow from on the other side of the stone fence. But just in front of the stone fence, if you can see a bit of white, it's a plastic bag that's there. The green heron is on this side of the fence. So I'm just going to walk around him. He's not always too worried. I'm not going to encroach on him too much, so I don't want him to feel he has to give up on his hunting, because he's a young one, but you might be able to see him now. If I can get my finger kind of in this area right here right now. So you may be wondering why I walked away from the green heron and didn't get down onto the ground and get some shots, considering where it was, and it would have been a good spot. And I kind of have an unwritten rule that if I've been photographing, especially a specific bird, not necessarily the species, but a specific bird, and spent a lot of time with it, and gotten good, the pictures I'm able to see when I do the Canon JPEG draw, the pictures are looking good. Maybe not the best, but they're certainly good pictures. So when I have those things kind of all come together, I don't want to harass that bird any more than is absolutely necessary. And you could say, well, it was going to feed whether or not you were there. And likely it's right, true. But, it was kind to me, gave me 30 to 45 minutes the other day of its time, and let me get some nice low shots. And so I'm just not going to harass it beyond what I think is reasonable for the a young bird, especially juvenile. Okay, so here we are. I'm at the spot where the warblers have been fairly consistent, somewhat quiet right now. Huh. That's not good. Well, I mean, it's not good. It's just been much busier here. I want to go back down here. It's past where the green heron was. It can be a good spot, and maybe because of the heat, the birds have just moved. That's not a black and white. Okay, I've got to definitely put this down. Hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. Don't go anywhere, little birdie. Unless it's a breeding. Oh, I'm gonna have to. This is not gonna be easy. All right, there we go. So pick up the. I knew my battery was getting low on the Insta 360, but ended up being in red. So a little bit I just did. I don't know how much of it I actually captured. So that spot behind me is really good. I think there's a prairie. Let's give this tractor a second. So I think there's a prairie warbler. It was really cute, very small. Um, oh, 5 vultures. And of course the black-throated blues are in behind. So that's what I was saying along here. This fence line, you can see, goes all the way down to the entrance, well, the service entrance for the Mojita hotel. This whole area is just full of warblers, and I guess they move back and forth depending on the heat and the time of day. So I'm going to stick out here for a little bit. It's a little after 11 now. Things have gotten really, really quiet. Except for the Annies, the smooth-billed Annies. There's one right in front of me, and there's a group of them kind of over here in the trees and making a racket. The green heron is just in front of me, and that snowy egret's up on a tree. But most of the little birds have taken a siesta. The warblers there today weren't quite as good as in the past, in the last part of the early part of last week. Still good though. I mean, I think I'm going to get a few more black-throated blues and yellow-fronted or yellow-throated warblers. Oh, there goes the heron into the mangroves. Or I guess that's not mangroves. It's probably just flooding. Oh, there. So I don't know if you can. Let's put it onto, and you might be able to see the Annies. Where are they? Kind of in. Oh, get my finger in the right spot. Kind of over here. They're in that tree. There's 2 of them. So I think that'll be all. So not not a 10-day, but certainly a solid 7. Did I get the white-eyed vireos? Yeah, at this point I don't know. You'll be knowing because I'm going to post those pictures when I was sort of over there talking about being in, like, photographing those warblers and the vireos. So you'll know if I did get any by now. So there's only really one full day. That's tomorrow, and then we leave late Saturday. So I'm not even sure if Saturday I'll do any photography. Even though I think we only leave the hotel at about 6 at night. Tomorrow, though, I do hope. I think I'm going to stick on the beach tomorrow. Walk down to the far end. Not necessarily to get more oyster catcher shots. I'm fairly happy with the ones I got the other day. But more just if there's anything else that shows up. And I wouldn't mind the black-bellied plovers. I think I got some decent shots, but of them, but certainly would take a few more just in case. The funny-looking dove. There are, I think, 5 or 6 species of doves. A bird that I've probably said a few dozen times in other videos that I really don't like, I don't care for. But when you have that many here, it is something I do photograph, or it's a bird I will photograph given the chance. So I think I'll just turn this off at this point. If I get any other pictures between here and the hotel, or I'll certainly post them. Oh, that's a kestrel. That's not a friggin' dove. Oh, it's a little kestrel. I mean, it's a good environment for kestrels. They'll have all the little rodents. And well, there's no real, I don't think there are rodents here, but certainly there's little um, like little lizards, little salamanders. You probably eat those. I don't know if they go after birds. I think I'll just call it quits here. Thank you very, very much for watching. Oh, okay, he's back he's on the corner of the building. But I want to thank you. That's the Kestrel's on the corner of the building, not somebody I know. But thank you very much for watching. I very much appreciate the support. And as I said, I'll probably do a video tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure. But maybe Saturday I'll just quickly do a wrap up and of the week, of the 2 weeks actually. I'm just gonna see if I can get this guy before I sign off. Oh, a second. He's sitting right on the corner of the building, not necessarily the prettiest shot in the world, but kind of cute. So yeah, let's see what we've got. Another cute bird. You know, the other thing I like to do with the F7, given a bird like this, it's really, and it probably, I suspect it's something that's available on the R5, R6, etc., is to actually zoom in. You know, it gives you I think it's a 100 zoom, and just when you focused, and like so, rear button, eye detect, focus. Then I take my finger off because it's not moving. That bird's not moving at all. So I'm not still holding down the focus. And then, you know, I'll just quickly there double click so I'm zoomed into just the head on it's looking at me. I think it's moving. They're cute. So I zoomed in with just to see, and it was sharp on the eye. So I know I've got a sharp picture. It's sort of it's a way, instead of chimping. So instead of me looking at the picture now and maybe it flies off, I'm able just to continually still take pictures. So if the bird does something, I'm on the trigger, so I can hit the trigger and take pictures. Although I'm zoomed in a lot, but it won't show up. It's just the zoom is only on the eyepiece on the viewfinder and on the back of the camera. So it's a way of kind of like chimping live, I guess you could say, and knowing you've got something sharp. Yeah, he's still there. I'll leave him alone. So thank you very much. I hope if I don't do another one tomorrow, I hope you've enjoyed this series of videos from here in Cuba. This, again, having so much fun. Police. It's so funny. I did talk to a police officer one time, and I said, you guys always honk your horn, or like the siren, they do the little siren when somebody waves. I said, you know, that it's in Canada, of course they don't do that. And he said, it's because in Canada, he said, I suspect everybody waves at the police. And I said, well, you know, I mean, for the most part, people will acknowledge police and fire and paramedics, you know, the emergency services. He said, here in Cuba, we're looked down on. We're not seen as providing good. And so when we see somebody wave, we know they're Canadian. So I thought that was kind of cute. Like it's it's just they you know, it's, oh, but obviously from Canadian. They waved at me, so I thought that was sweet. Yeah, and you heard the horn there. So thanks again. I'm going to go. Some people are walking this way, and thanks for watching. If I don't do another one, I'll probably be back in the cold very soon, and doing winter again at home in Ottawa. So from Cuba, from Cayo Coco, Cuba. Gracias amigos for following, and we'll see you on the next one. Okay, bye-bye.